Well, Charlie, you'll be pleased to know there's another parcel arrived today. Well, it's a hot day. Half the country can't work in it according to the DWP. Their job centre has sent the staff home, even though they'll be working in air-conditioned offices, and I'm sitting upstairs in 29-degree heat. But I can still function. I've just spent 37 minutes on the phone waiting for them to answer it so that I can give them 5 minutes worth of information that I'm changing my bank account. I had to do that with two separate bodies of the Department of Works and Pensions, and because I've changed my mobile phone I also had to go and do the same thing with PayPal, talking to someone that sounded like they were in Malaysia with a phone system that was operating like Stan Boardman on the phone, constantly cutting out every 2 seconds. So it's been a good morning, a bloody nightmare of a morning. And after 6 months of wrangling to get a pension worth less than £3 actually out of Scottish Widows, because for years they've had my date of birth down wrong, and I had to prove who I was and when I was born, which I done. They then couldn't read the email. So we went back and done it all again, which wasted another week. Then I was told I could log in once they verified the details, which they couldn't be bothered to do, so I had to phone them up again. Yeah, it's good. Or my advice to any of the young English chaps: if you've got a pension with Scottish Widows, move it. They are an absolute bunch of Barclays bankers. But anyway, rant over. Let's get on with the good stuff. It's a company called Model Junction that some of you may possibly have heard of. Now I'm not going to be able to get their email or details up. Yeah, so Model Junction. There's a model shop in Bury St Edmunds, and nothing to do with that one. Model Junction of Slough. They used to have a shop for 21 years. The lease came up and they decided obviously that life was for living, and they didn't renew the lease on the shop, so the remaining stock they're selling from home, and they've kept the website live. I found them per chance because I was looking for Walther's kits, and obviously being American there isn't an awful lot of places that stock it. And these didn't either. I found some bits and they was all out of stock because obviously they're not renewing it. But what happened was, I think back in 2020 they shut the shop. Then obviously the pandemic kicked off, and suddenly there was a lot of orders coming in, and they held off, ran it from home, and they're basically winding it down. But I think they've obviously brought a few bits in and resold, because obviously it was worth them doing it, but they're sort of looking obviously to finish it all over a period of time. But there are some quite good prices on there for various items. I didn't find the original things I was looking for. They used to import a lot of US locos, but again sadly they're obviously not replenishing their stock. But they did have a lot of stuff around about half price. Now if you've seen my previous video, I was rather miffed to find out a piece of Plastrex was about that long and cost me a £5 from Hatton's, and that was a discounted price. I bought this Plastrex I-beam. Okay, scrap that. I was trying to get the email up, but to my purchased items folder on my email I can't access because someone keeps trying to hack my Outlook account, and I have to keep changing the email, so I've stopped using Thunderbird in case they've managed to hack that, and only using it via Outlook and seeing what happens. But as you can see, it's very well packed, which is just as well because it did come with a gaping hole in it courtesy of DPD. So hopefully there'll be an invoice in here somewhere, but I managed to get the Prose's Ballast Spreader, because as you know from my previous video, the hopper's not as big as I was hoping, but these are about £12–14 I think. It was about £6, which is why I bought it, because I wasn't going to spend 15 quid on a hopper thing. More newspaper. A Carorama digger. That was £7 I think. Some shaky bits. This is a matte stuff I think, foliage. I'll get it out and we'll go through it. Hopefully there's an invoice in there. I mean, the stuff was sort of like, okay, I'll buy it. It was, most of it's half price, and knock stuff isn't exactly in the bargain category. Another lot of Plastrex die beam. I had to buy these ones because the Chinese don't seem to make the larger beams. A bottle of flock from what's this one? Scenic Express. I don't do too well with the English language. One of the track setters I haven't got. A 30-inch one. Now, Javis Scenics, take note. Not a frigging teaspoonful in there, is it? That's a bush one. Foliage. That is the. It's cheaper to buy this than the Chinese one. At the minute the Chinese keep sending me emails about a marvellous little one which is a bit of this stuck to polyfibre. Time you add the postage on and that, it's about £5 and it's 20 grams. So the picture they show you is of a nice one. What you'll actually get in reality is nowhere near as close. There's another one. Some bits of ground cork by the looks of it, stuck to some carpet underlay probably, but yeah, it's railway stuff so we pay more for it, but not if you buy it from here. And another one which will be useful. I think this one is sort of another texture stuck together one, so you can peel it and place it on bushes and trees. A pot of scatteroonie. What they were now, someone on here, 250 grams. Another one darker. Plate girder bridge, twin, with nickel silver track already on it. I think that was £6. It reminded me of a single one that used to be near me. So I thought, you know. Then there's this plant hooze. In other words, little sachets of various colouring just to give hues highlights to, I suppose if you water it, it grows, look. Talking of growing, the seafoam trees are still surviving despite the heat. Going out and giving them a water in the late afternoon. Deciduous tree armatures. You didn't have many of the variations. The other one was smaller, so if you're into N-gauge, but 00HO not so much. These are 5 centimetre to 7.6, or 2 to 3 inches for the Americans. And that was about it. And it doesn't look to be an invoice. Oh yes, and I got a MIG ammo paint, acrylic colour. I can't remember what it was now. New wood, so I can paint wood to make it look like wood. Now, let me see if I can find the email before I destroy the place. There are some items on their site that you can't click and add to your basket. You have to do click and add a generic item to your basket, and then in the about tab, or information, additional information tab, when you're doing the you know, setting up your name and address, you have to put in the actual item that you want. So if you went on, say for instance, the Plastrex, they come in various different price categories depending on what size range they are, so you have to put in your details. I don't know why they've done it. Maybe they haven't got enough stock, or it's varying, they can't keep up to date with the website. So if they've got it, it's on usually. So they basically, you do your checkout and then they add the extras to your invoice post checkout to tally it all up. As far as I know, without looking on my account, they haven't amended the bill. So, because what happened was it got to a week and I still hadn't heard or seen anything, and I was getting a little bit worried. I was having that. Let me just get my ugly fizz-hogging shot again. I can see how wrinkly old bugger I am. I was starting to have those flashbacks to Cannes models again. You know, nice website, order the stuff, pay for it, and then don't hear anything. And they haven't got a phone number on their web page because obviously there is no business premises now. But I thought, well, I've been going 21 years, that's a little bit safer than the other one, but I couldn't find a lot of reviews about them because obviously the shop had been and gone. So I was getting a little bit worried after a week. I still hadn't heard anything, and I thought it was supposed to be 48-hour postage. Now, granted, they are basically working it part-time, so I sent them an email a week in, thinking, well, if not, the next call is the old credit card company and I've got to wait a month. And I think it was a day or so back, and I got a phone call in the evening, and I, you know, on the old mobile, and I thought, don't recognise that number, and not answering it. Then I see it come up slow, and I thought, ooh, quick penny dropped. So I answered the phone, and it was a lady apologising about the order. And basically it boiled down to the fact I think they have a thermal printer for doing the labels, and the printer had died, so they couldn't do the labels, which meant they couldn't post anything out. But they were going to do it by the end of the week, pending getting the replacement printer label. If it's like our one from work, the labels and everything is supplied by the courier company. So yeah, I got a dispatch notification a day later and an update email from them apologising for the reasons they'd already given me. At least they'd phoned me up, which did put my fears to rest, and had a nice little chat with her actually, and didn't convince her to keep staying on for the American market in the UK, but yeah, it's duly arrived today, the following Monday. So now I've bored you to bloody death, let's have a go. The 00 scale ballast spreader, the Proz's one, which normally Proz's stuff isn't cheap. I can't tell you what it is because I don't get the price on the website. I'll just go through what my invoice is. £6.95, and I think they're around about £13 upwards for the Proz's one. I know there's cheaper ones on eBay, but I thought, well, I'll go for the Proz's ones because the pros use Proz's. Static grass, master blend, Alpine Meadow. I don't know what one that is. What's an Alpine Meadow look like? I've never been to the Alpine region. Been to Germany, but not the Alpines. Is it one of these? I don't know. Could be, but it's all in German. Anthony, we need you. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Reden Sie Deutsch? Scatter material. I guess that's in Italian because it says floccato. Yeah, linguistics with Newlin. Who knows? Light brown foliage, £1.80. Scatter material field bulk, that's one of these, £3.49. You'd pay more than that if it was full of popcorn. And the other one, £3.49. Are you watching, Mark? You need a shed load of more stuff, do you? It's worth the wait at that price. I think they're about £6-7. So they're roughly sort of half-ish price or 40% off. So we've eliminated them. Leafy foliage mid-green and leafy foliage dark green. You know, though matty type stuff that you tear off. Doesn't show very well on the picture. I'm sure you've all seen them in various people's. £4.75. So they're not quite as cheap as some of the stuff, but yeah, they're still cheaper than they normally are. Something's leaking out. Flock and turf swampy bog blend. I'm guessing it's this one. Master Grouse Mischung Almweist. Marks out of 10, Anthony. It sounds more authentic if I've got a litre Stein in my hand. So we bought a foliage cluster, dark green. Well, that one is in English, because it's made in Royston Hertz. Royston does sound frightfully posh, doesn't it? Tree armatures, £9.49. Wherever I put them, down there. I think they're about £12 something normally, getting towards £13, so a couple of £3 off. The plant hues, £2.99. I know they're not big, but you're just, you know, doing a little sprinkle, so a little goes a long way. And you get 4 pouches. You could always use it as snuff as well. Does anyone use snuff anymore? The new wood acrylic paint, £1.24. Now, I don't think these are more than £2.50 anyway. I can't remember. The Volvo Excavator was £7.20. The through plate girder bridge twin track, £6.20. It's probably more than that in the States. Feels quite weighty as well. The Plastrex structural architectural Dewberry Watsits, I've got no price on those, so they may have not charged me because of the delays. I don't know, they haven't said, or it could be on my bill as I get it, but I think that was about 40% off, and this stuff isn't cheap, and this is the long length, not the little squirty bits that you get, so that'll be going in my storage tube. And I didn't see the track setter. 30-inch track setter, £3.75. And did I cover this? The Flock and Turf 32-ounce shaker from Scenic Express. Was it this one? Swampy Bog Blend, that's that one. So that's the same size as the Woodland Scenics. Things that are, well, £10.20 upwards. I think that's the cheapest I've found, the Woodland Scenics. £10.20 going up to about £15 depending on what's in it on the Woodland Scenics jobs. How much was this? You know I like a bargain. £4.49. So if you want some cheap stuff, it's called modeljunction.info at the minute. There might be a delay between you getting a notification with the shipping, because obviously they are, I suppose, semi-retired or retired from active business, so they're not a weekly, daily 9 to 5er. So obviously they're not going to be next day delivery like Hattons or someone, but I think you can put up with a bit of a delay when you're saving, what, my orders come to about £73, and I would say it would probably have been £20 more. I don't think it's unrealistic, between £15 and £20 more, so I mean, admittedly some of it I wouldn't have bought if it weren't so cheap, but you know, it's too good not to, you know. Right, I'm going to go back on the site and buy some more flock. I'm going to flock off. Bye.